Greetings, everybody. This is the second video dealing with what you need to know for Lab 4, Newton's universal law of gravitation. Okay, well you know how to run the simulation, and you know how to get the force values. Nothing complicated. Just move M2 accordingly to the right distance. Okay, that's 2.4. That's 2.8. 3.2, 3.6. Remember, we're going in increments of 0.4. So let me go ahead. You don't need to see me run this on the video. Let me pause it and enter in my remaining values. Okay, so I've gone ahead. I paused it while I ran the simulation. I went up through r is equal to 8. Now notice I have the r column repeated here in column D. I have the R values repeated here in column D. Now I have the Excel values here in column E. Notice column F, that's the percent error between the value that Excel gives us, column E, and the value the simulation gives us, column C. So I've already entered that formula for you because the percent error formula is very trivial. Now there's a formula here for R squared, which we'll fill in. And there's a formula here for 1 over f. I've already entered the formula for 1 over f. That's why it's saying divide by 0. Likewise for the percent error, I've already got the formula entered. But because the cells are blank right now, it's saying divide by 0. I did that because column F and column H, those formulas are trivial. I'm simply doing, notice F is in the E column, because I'm using the Excel value. So 1 over f right now, it's a divide by 0. Because it's saying 1 over E13, right now the E column is blank. But once we populate the E column, the H column will update itself. Likewise, the F column will update itself. Now why do I have it set up like this? Well, remember, we need to do an F versus R graph. So we're going to graph these two columns. Remember, F versus R, that's Y versus X, remember. But Excel, the first column, remember this in Excel language, this is saying R is on the X-axis and F is on the Y-axis. Then I have here, we have to graph 1 over F versus R squared. Again, in Excel language, this is saying R squared is going to be on the X-axis and 1 over F is going to be on the Y-axis. That's why I did that. Okay, so we have column E populated. I got those, from running the simulation. All right. Well, remember, I need to graph columns D and E. Column D is the R value. So I'm simply going to just copy. I'm going to take these values. I'm just going to copy them and paste them. Okay. Now I need to fill out column E. Well, I need to use this equation. F is equal to G M1 M2 over R squared. So I'm going to type in equals. I like to use a lot of parentheses and a lot of spaces, so left parentheses. Well, in the numerator, I need G M1 M2. So I'm going to do another left parenthesis. Well, where is G? Well, remember, the value for G is in cell C9. But remember, and M1 is in C7, M2 is in C8. Well, those never change. Remember, that numerator is a constant. The only thing that's changing is R, and then with each R, we're going to calculate F. But G, M1, and M2 aren't changing. So for M, because it's, but not for M, for G, it's in cell C9. So I'm going to do $C, $9. Notice that cell is highlighted. Because remember, G, M1, and M2, that numerator never changes, so I don't want those cell references to change. In Excel language, that's what the dollar signs mean. Now, then I do times, and then $C, $7. Notice that one was highlighted. Then times $C, $8. That's G, M1, M2. That's my numerator, close parentheses. Okay, divided by, now I want two left parentheses. Now I want to divide by r squared. Well, r is in the b column, starting with b16. I'm sorry, B13, excuse me, starting with B13. So I'm going to type in B13, close one parentheses, caret 2 for squared. Then close the other parentheses. Then a space, close the very outermost parentheses. That's G M1 M2 divided by R squared. Hit check, disco, notice, and it's going out to 5 decimals, that's fine. And notice, obviously, they're very close. Notice the percent error automatically updated itself. And notice, so did 1 over f. Because the percent error formula and the 1 over f formula, I entered them for you because they're trivial. On your sheet, you're going to have to enter the formula for f, just like I did. Now, once you have the correct formula, that lower right corner, when you see the crosshair, hold down the left mouse button and simply drag it down. Notice everything updated as it should. Okay. Now remember, we need to graph f versus r, so we're going to graph these two columns. We also need to graph 1 over f versus r squared. So I need to populate column G, the r squared column. Well, and you can use B or D, it doesn't matter, but I'm just going to type in, I need to square it. So I'm going to type in equals, parenthesis, B13, notice it's highlighted, 1.6, B13, close parentheses, caret 2 for squared. Check. And there we go, then just drag it down. Disco. Okay, we're at 6 minutes, good. Okay, click outside. So now we have our data. Now let's go ahead and how do we do the graph? So the first thing we want to do is graph f versus r. That's columns D and E. So notice I highlight the two columns, there we go, including the two headers. See the R in meters and the F in, darn, I'm missing the last row. Let me do this one more time. There we go. And remember, I want to include the headers. Then I'm going to go up to insert, chart, and I want right here. And notice, it's looking like the shape in the instructions. Well, because we're doing two graphs on the sheet, I'm going to take this and drag it down here. Okay. Now remember, we need to format it according to the standard scientific graphing formats. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and depending upon your version of Excel, again, quick layout, and I want the first one. Right here, this box, delete. Okay. Left click the mouse on these horizontal lines, delete. Okay. Here with the hold on one second. Oh yeah, these are good. With the so now notice the shape is good, but we need to do the formatting. I'm going to hold. See, I've got the arrow over the y-axis. I'm going to hit the left mouse button. Then click the right mouse button. Format axis. Okay. Okay. Min, max look good. Probably. Let me see the minor unit. Major 2, minor 4, I guess that's all right. Let me pause this for a second and just play around with it a little bit. Yeah, these should be good. Let me go to number. I don't want general, I want scientific. Yeah, that's better. All right. Again, with the tick marks, I want major and minor. There we go. All right. Again, now here, I'm going to let me go back here. When I get that, now right click, font. I want it to be black. I want the size to be probably 10, I think will work. Oops, that's 100. 10, and again we want Times New Roman. If you type in TIM, then it should be right there. Okay. Okay, that's good. Then I think I'm still good because we're in the light. Let's go up to here, the fill and the line, and I don't know why Excel defaults to the gray, but there we go. Okay, that looks okay. Let me pause this again just for a second. Yeah, the only thing I get is I want to change the font to 9. I think with those big numbers, yeah, we want 9. Okay, so change the font. Okay, the titles we'll get to in a second. Now let me go down to the. I'm gonna left click, then right, format axis. Let's see, max and major is 1, minor. 0.2 is probably good, yeah, or even maybe 0.25 probably would work. Tick marks, we want inside for both. Okay, number is good. All right, then up here with the color, again, line, why Excel defaults to gray, I don't know. Then go back over here. Notice I have the arrow, I right click the mouse, again we want font, and we'll do 9, and the color black, and here TIM, and you should get Times New Roman. Okay, there we go. The axis looks good. Now we just need to do the titles over here in this box, and then we go over to here, I think, vertical alignment, text direction, want horizontal. Okay, then here, go over, I want the font to be Times New Roman. I want the color to be, of course, black. Right there. The size, probably 11 or 12 works. We'll do 11. And then it's just F, and then parentheses, large N, F in newtons. Okay, that's good. Now down here, axis title. Again, I want it black. I want 11. And I want Times New Roman, and that's just my R, and then parentheses M for R in meters. Okay, that's good. Now here we want the title. 14's probably good, black. I want it Times New Roman, and we want it bold. And this is, I like Newton's universal law of gravitation, colon, and it's F versus R. And there we go. This graph looks good. I'm going to stop this video and show you how to do the other graph, but basically, and then maybe just, make it a little bit bigger if we want. We don't have to. And everything looks good. Everything's labeled correctly. The shape is correct. All right, let me go ahead, and now I'm going to show you next how to graph columns G and H. But let me go ahead and save this video, and we'll do the next one.